Blessings, everyone. This is Chris Kendall, TheRawAdvantage, going to you live and direct out here in Malmö. We're going to do a live walk and talk AMA. So what that means is you can ask me anything. You can absolutely ask me anything you like. You can talk about my new book, Raw Truths, and go into the different types of myths that really hold people back and sabotage their raw vegan journey. Welcome in here, the farmhouse DE. Guessing Denmark, perhaps. But this is, again, going to be a live AMA. I'm going to thrive off of your questions. I really invite you to ask any questions whatsoever. You may ask why I'm wearing these shades. Well, it's because they're the Meta Ray-Ban. Which ones are they? I can't remember anyway. There's some sunglasses that I can do this and go. And guess what? Yeah, now you see this. Here we are at Folkets Park, and we're just going to go for a little bit of a walk through Folkets Park, and hopefully you join me and you ask some fun questions so that we can get into it. Hey Chris, how you doing? If you have any questions whatsoever, I thrive off of them. This is a live AMA. Hey doggo. And we're going to go into any questions that you have. It's a beautiful park. Right over here there's some skateboard ramps, one of my favorite places to be. Beautiful flowers. Let's look at all these flowers here, huh? There we go. You can see everyone. Hey, green food lover. Again, this is a live AMA, so any questions you have, I'm going to answer live. Wow, look at that dark one. It's like blackish purple. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I am in Folkets Park in Malmö, Sweden. Also translated to the People's Park. Beautiful, beautiful place, open year-round, different kind of themes during different seasons. Got some putt and bounce golf and, kiddie pools and a whole bunch of other stuff. There's even been a skateboard park here before. In addition to the outdoor one, there was an indoor one over there. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. I love to come here. I love all the green spaces in Malmö, Sweden. It's where I live now. I'm from Canada, but I live in Malmö, Sweden now. So, hello, welcome. If you just joining me again, this is a live AMA. Ask me anything. So if you have any questions whatsoever about holistic health, the raw vegan lifestyle, the bundle, which I'd be remiss if I did not mention. Yes, indeed, the bundle is live, and it's only here until this Sunday, May 11th at midnight PST. So you're going to want to check that out. Over 30 brand new, never before released raw resources worth over $1,390 on sale just for $50. So you can get that in my link in bio here on Instagram. And I'm gonna continue. Here we go. So if anyone has any questions whatsoever, please let me know. It'll be lots of fun to go into them, and then you can make this stream more exciting and have more information and, make it more useful for everyone. So, hello, welcome. It's going to be really short if no one has any questions whatsoever. But my book, Raw Truths, has 10 of the biggest myths that are prevalent in the raw food community that can really sabotage your health. We go into things such as mucoid plaque, B12 and supplementation, fat, and the fat content of the diet. We go into cooked food, go into hybrid fruits and GMO and all those different seedless fruits, all that kind of stuff. Protein, athletics, we go into all of that good stuff. So if anyone has any questions whatsoever, please do feel free. Otherwise, I'm just going to be blabbing on for a little while, and if there's not many questions, I may just stop the stream and say, hey, everyone knows everything and doesn't want to hear what I have to say. So here we are in the back side of Fulkits Park, and we're going to do a nice big circle here. It's a beautiful day here in Malmö, 6 o'clock here. I'd love to even ask, where's everyone at? Yeah, what's going on, Nikki? Good to see you, man. I'm struggling with dark chocolate. Any suggestions? And how do you mean you're struggling? That you find you just need to eat it all the time, or have a perceived need to eat it all the time, or it affects you really negatively? What would you say you're specifically struggling with dark chocolate? Plus emotional eating at times. So it sounds like you're a human being. I mean, we're basically taught from a young age to be emotional eaters. Even just starting with mother's milk, when we cry, we're given mother's milk, which calms us down, has opiate-like substances in it that really do calm us down. So we're taught when we're emotional, food is a way to relax. And of course, it can be utilized for that, but it's not super advantageous when we start eating really heavy things and things that aren't good for our health, like mother's milk was when we were an infant. So you're not alone with that, but a big trick to that is to just recognize that we can develop other coping mechanisms rather than just running to heavy foods, and to be okay with feeling not okay, to feel it, to breathe through it, to come out in nature, you know, to ground, touch a tree, take a hot bath, reach out to a friend, you know, take a nap, or even get some exercise and really exert yourself. All those things can really help. Oftentimes, it's just like 10-15 minutes where it's really challenging, and if we can get through those 10-15 minutes by employing those other tips that I just mentioned, we can make it a heck of a lot easier on ourselves, and then we can develop healthier habits with how to cope, and that can be massive. I really recommend anyone and everyone, if they're feeling emotional, if they're feeling urgent around food, if they feel like, you know, they just need to distract themselves with food, to sit with it, to feel things, to accept that life isn't always easy, but food isn't the solution to absolutely everything. And instead, if we can look at non-food factors to create more balance and come into deeper levels of acceptance, then we're going to grow exponentially. It helps in so many ways. So I hope that's a little bit helpful. With the dark chocolate, I mean, there are other alternatives. Commonly, when people are really craving chocolate a lot of the time, they're either looking for the stimulation or they're looking to get magnesium. And if you're not eating a lot of greens, you might be driven to chocolate if your body basically associates that with a good source of magnesium. Of course, you know, there are worse things, but there are better things. So if you really up your quantity of greens, whether that's through green juices, green smoothies, salads, stews, anything like that, that can really, really help, as can that emotional aspect. If we're feeling emotional and driven to food, pause, take a minute. True hunger is not emotional, it's not urgent, it's not specific, it's not accompanied by headaches and aches and pains. That's detoxification, and for the absolute most part, in most people's everyday life. And if you give yourself some space and some grace and some patience and take some deep breaths, you'll get through it, you'll feel a lot better, and then make a healthier choice. You know, nice sweet fruit, or you know, some greens, or anything along those lines can really help form healthier habits that help sustain you and help you thrive more in the long term. So hopefully that's your little bottle baby. Hey Camilla, hey Michelle, if you have any fun questions, it could be that you're craving the sweetness, absolutely. I mean, and sweetness can just be for that taste. It also can be, you know, you're feeling like life is bitter and not feeling that good, so you just want some sweetness to distract you from it. And of course, you can always make a healthier sweet choice. You can, you know, get some raw chocolates, or you can get some carob powder. I like a big carob banana smoothie, or even cacao, which is a healthier form of chocolate. So all of those things can really, really help when you're feeling those. There we go. We paused for a second. This is actually, this Ray-Ban Meta thing is a little better indoors with Wi-Fi, but I'll try not to go under trees, and hopefully that helps to maintain this live for us. So here we are again in Folkets Park. This is a live AMA. I'm here to answer any questions you might have around the raw food lifestyle, around myths in the raw food lifestyle, around holistic health, nutrition, what I'm doing out here, my life, anything you want. Feel free to ask. I'm an open book. Very happy to provide anything I can, really, anything I can. So there we go. Yeah. Got some live music going on here in Fulkits Park. It's often a community hub. Look at that. It looks like there's going to be some kind of a sound stage for some kind of a live performance probably here in the next few days. Be kind of fun. And hopefully everyone's enjoying all these lives. I've done, I don't even know, probably near 20 lives already over the course of the bundle, and most people who are contributing are doing a whole bunch of different lives and bringing their experience and insights and gifts to the table to help you thrive and make this easier. There we go. Camilla said, after the traffic accident, I started a cycle of eating more chocolate and craving chocolate every day, and I started thinking, and it started from me feeling low and knowing that chocolate is indeed, I mean, it can be a source of enjoyment, and it can calm us down, and as I mentioned before, it can be a good source of magnesium, which is really good for calming the nerves as well. So it's often used for that, and I'm not trying to make it a bad thing, but if you are consuming it regularly and it's not serving you, it's not really fulfilling you in the way you wish it would, then there are other options out there, you know, just different techniques of coping as well as healthier options. And of course, it's what you do most of the time that has the most pronounced effect. So if you do it often and it's not really bringing you that, well then, yeah, look into those other options and play with it. But yeah, there we go. It was a pick me up, and so it sounds like it was a tool that helped you in that time, but after a while, it didn't quite serve you the way it was originally. So you felt like, all right, now it's time to wean off a little bit and use it for more kind of occasional usage, and otherwise find other things that suit you better, right? Which sounds really good. Always crave it in the evenings, yeah, dark chocolate. I mean, that's a common time too. You know, you're looking either for a bit of a stimulation, or, you know, a lot of times at the end of the day you just want to, and you want that sweet kind of fix, something really tasty. So that's a good time, and I always recommend people when they're on this path with raw foods to enjoy something sweet before their dinner meal. So start with a nice fruit starter, and then go from there into more of a greens and vegetable based dinner, which again then provides the dense mineralization, including the magnesium and all the other awesome alkaline minerals, which can not only help with cravings but help with nutrient satiation and just leave you feeling better, and is going to be better too just for overall long-term health. So that's a big one. Chocolate is a common craving, and hey, I enjoy some raw chocolate on occasion, and like I said, I like cacao. I just find it's really helpful to be mindful of when we're eating for emotions and when we're eating for true needs. And the more we set up a habit to eat from a place of true needs rather than emotion, the better relationship we form with ourselves, our emotions, as well as with the food itself. And that has long-lasting benefits. So that's a big one. Yeah, started eating more real food, knowing that the body and mind can develop sugar addiction, help to wean it off. I have it every now and then, but don't crave it as often. And truthfully, I wouldn't consider it sugar addiction. More so, I'd say it's the stimulatory effect. And also, chocolate is mostly fat, and it's that fat and sugar combo. And often, if it has a little bit of salt, it's fat, sugar, and salt all together. Can basically hijack your brain and set all the like fireworks going on in your brain, which is just like instant satisfaction in all the different ways that you know, can be actually draining on the mind and on the nervous system. So it's not the best to employ all the time, but again, what you do once in a while is very different from what you do all the time, and the more mindful you are of that, the better it can be. Absolutely, yeah. Fat, sugar, salt. There's an amazing book by Alan Goldhammer and one other co-author that is slipping my mind right now, called The Pleasure Trap, which really goes in depth into that with science and psychology, and really gets us to understand why certain foods can be addicting. And it's not that they're addicting that you actually create a dependence, but it's psychologically or physiologically addicting in the sense that it feels so good and it triggers all these responses in your mind that you're driven towards that when that's something you're looking for, but not in a healthy way, like healthy whole foods that offer support and nutrition for your body to be functioning optimally. But there are certain foods that are used more as distraction and used more as, again, a stimulation rather than actual like just nourishment without the side effects. Truthfully, you know, really healthy foods, they don't come with side effects, they come with a list of benefits, whereas foods that, you know, they can be on that line or they can be all the way down off the line are ones that come with a whole bunch of side effects, right? So that can be good. Yeah, dopamine release and all those things, but they can also be draining on our dopamine serotonin system to be triggering those all the time, especially if we're in a depleted state and we're using them in that time. Then it can be just like sparking a little bit too much and you know, be a lot harder on our system. So here we are back at this side near the amazing skate ramp. No one's on the big one yet. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I know some crew over there, but I won't get too distracted by the homies. Won't let them see me, even I'll hide. I'm gonna hide. So again, if anyone's just joining me here, we're doing a live AMA, Ask Me Anything. I've been on a raw food path for over 21 years, and I've been into health and nutrition since 1999. I've been really blessed to have met and mingled and mentored under so many people walking this path much longer than me, from experts to doctors to enthusiasts and all in between, and coaching people for the last 16 years. So I've learned a lot, and that's one of the things that led me to creating Raw Truths, breaking down the 10 biggest myths that are sabotaging people's health in the raw food movement. So again, if anyone has any questions whatsoever with any of these, how important is food combining for nutrient absorption? What should I avoid combining? Now that's a really, really cool topic. I'm definitely a big proponent of food combining, especially when somebody has poor digestion or they're looking to streamline their health and their energy expenditure that goes towards digestion. A lot of people don't realize, but a heavy meal can take upwards of 60% of your total blood flow going to the stomach, and that's often why people after Thanksgiving dinner, they basically pass out. And like, I've seen people pass out after Thanksgiving dinner, just need sleep. And instead, if you're eating light, vibrant raw foods, either by themselves or well food combined or in simple combinations, it can take lower, like 20%, which is more normal and leaves you with a lot more energy and nerve function for everything else. So some really basic tips, the basic ones. And I don't look at food combining as a rule. I look at it as a tool for optimal digestion. There are certain things that are going to be a little harder to digest and be more likely to cause some burps and gas and fermentation, and lead to it basically taking longer and more energy to digest. So you have less left over and less efficient digestion. But some super simple things, specifically in the raw food context, is to match things together of similar water content and similar predominant flavor. So when I'm saying similar predominant flavor, I'm saying like really sweet or really tart. So like lemons and bananas are on the opposite side of the spectrum, while a squeeze of lemon on your bananas isn't going to do much. If you have a lot of lemon with your banana smoothie, it's not going to really serve you the best. And again, it's not meaning that it's, you're going to die from it. It's just you're not going to digest it as optimally. It's going to take more time. And part of this is because different foods trigger different digestive enzymes from our mouth, like amylase, into our stomach with hydrochloric acid, and into our intestines with lipase for digesting fats, and protease, and a whole host of other ones. And certain ones inhibit those digestive processes, and certain of them bring them more strongly. So while we have different parts in our system that secrete those at different parts, if we have acids, it actually shuts down our amylase production in our mouth, which is the start of carbohydrate digestion. So other things to avoid if it's not strictly raw food. Well, it's not really optimal to be mixing super high protein and super high protein and super high carbohydrate foods together, because the carbohydrates, again, they start in the mouth and they digest further on after the stomach, whereas the proteins, they digest primarily in the stomach. That's the first part with the hydrochloric acid, and when they're mixed, neither of them digest quite as efficiently. If you chew super well, that can mitigate it for a large part, but a lot of people don't chew well. So no matter what you're eating, if you chew really well, you're in a calm, balanced state, and you're mindful, you're going to do a heck of a lot better. But observing food combining can really help. I actually have a full food combining chart on my raw recipes app. It's just TheRawAdvantage Raw Recipes on both the Apple iTunes store as well as the Google Play store. So hopefully that helps a little bit. If you have any kind of more fine-tuned questions about that, let me know. All that can help. Yeah, more than my pleasure. Absolutely. Hey, Wendy. Do I track micros and macros with an app like Chronometer? Just do it intuitively. Vegan nurse. It's a great question. I don't track anything anymore, but I mean, I've been doing this for over 21 years. When people are new to it, I do recommend actually playing with, but not obsessing with, playing with a tool like Chronometer to really get a handle of what you're getting in, especially the macros. It's kind of funny, but if you have variety and you focus on the micros pretty much take care of themselves. There is some nuance to that, and there are some things that you can be made aware of through learning even more about nutrition and getting some personal guidance, but it is fairly simple. And if you really want to pin it down to being as simple as possible with the raw food approach, if you eat enough calories from fruit to be totally satiated and get enough calories, you know, enjoying a wide variety of fruits over the week, month, year, over the seasons, and you enjoy enough greens so that you don't have any cravings for salt, you're basically going to be in that ratio that is well promoted through the bundle and through Dr. Graham's 80-10-10 diet. Adding a handful or two of nuts and seeds or half to one avocado on every day or other day brings you into that fat ratio, which is roughly around 80% or more of your calories from carbohydrate and somewhere between 7 to 15% of your total calories from fat, and protein usually is between 7 and 10% almost no matter what diet you're on, but you basically just fall into that. So yeah, the short answer is I don't really think about it at this point, but it does take some time, and it can be a useful tool, especially in the beginning, to make that even more clear. So I help people with that in coaching at times. Yeah, Dave, what's up, brother? I'm just walking around doing a live AMA. If you have any fun questions, Dave, feel free, man, feel free. I'm in Folkets Park here in Malmö, just doing laps, answering questions and connecting with anyone who wants to connect and has any fun questions. So yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful park. I've never actually been in the fountain, but I've seen kids wading in it, stuff like that. It's a pretty sweet place. It's a pretty sweet place. I'm curious, has anyone here grabbed the bundle already? And if so, have you already checked out some resources? Any standouts? There's over 30. There's in fact 32 brand new, never before released resources that are part of the bundle. It's an amazing opportunity to help you thrive with a holistic raw food lifestyle. It's beyond recipes. There's over 500 recipes in there, including Liz's brand new sushi book, which is ridiculous. 160 sushi recipes, from sushi rolls to bowls to toppings and all that good stuff. Her hubby Nate has an amazing raw crackers and dips book to get your crunch on. There's a Chinese takeout course. There's a whole bunch of simple raw food recipes and beyond. And there's also a lot of physical stuff, helping with fitness and mindset as well. It's really an amazing, amazing course that I can't recommend high enough. And again, it's over this Sunday at midnight PST. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. I'm going to sit down for a little bit and just look at those mini ramps over there for Dirty David. Check out that ramp, brother. It's super sick. I can't wait to shred with you sometime, hopefully in the not too far future. I'm going to switch the camera view back and talk a bit. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's like a floof in the cloud and then a floof in my hair. How embarrassing. These little short hairs, they're not really my personal favorite. Yeah. It's nice to slow down sometimes and just chill. But I tell you, it's going to be much more interesting if you have some questions for me. So if anyone has any questions for this live AMA, just let me know. Otherwise, I might just head back home, you know? Let's see if there's anything that I missed here. No. There we go. That's all that's going on. Well, this has been a fun live AMA. There hasn't been a lot of questions. Come on, if anyone has any fun questions, feel free to ask. And otherwise, I really hope that you're enjoying all the different lives that are part of this bundle. We've been really digging deep and asking the hard questions and also sharing transformational stories and all that good stuff. Thank you, Vegan Nurse Ray. Be well to you as well. And there are loads of amazing videos that are all linked on the bundle page. So even if you're not interested in the bundle, I encourage you to check out the bundle in my link in bio. In the top right, there's a live schedule. You can click that and you can see all the different lives with specific topics. There's food demos, there's a whole bunch of different stuff in there. So you can gain clarity, gain insight, gain inspiration through watching everyone who's a part of the bundle share their gifts, share their experience, and share the things they're really passionate about. That's why we're doing this bundle, to all come together so that we can help grow with each other and with the community. So, yeah. Vanny Bias, or Blast. All the nutrition theories confuse me a bit. How do I know which one works for me? Well, that is a good question. There is a lot of confusion out there, and I think, wait a second. I think in part that's on purpose, but a lot of it actually comes down to what I mistaken your name for, comes down to bias. But what we can do is look at the largest amount of data that is out there, the biggest scientific studies that are out there, some of them going for like 50 plus years with thousands and thousands of people, whether we're talking about the China study or we're talking about the blue zones or we're talking about, what's that other one called? There's a couple other ones that I'm slipping on right now. We can take that. We can also look at our dietary nature through comparative physiology and anatomy and look out at the animals that are the closest to us and what they eat and what they thrive on, kind of piggybacking on the reality and the actual science of species-specific diets by utilizing comparative anatomy and physiology, and see what our true dietary nature is. And really what that comes down to is a carbohydrate-rich, plant-based or plant-strong diet that includes loads of fruits and vegetables. The bonobo is a pygmy chimpanzee, which is ranging from 96 is the lowest percentage I've ever seen to 99.4% genetically similar to us, making a male bonobo closer to a male human than to a female human. And what do they thrive on? The most fruits of any of the great apes. They eat a lot of fruit, they eat a lot of leaves, they're opportunistic and will eat whatever they can if there is basically nothing available, but it's actually a very small percentage of insects and animal foods. And usually when it's animal foods, they're warring over fruit trees with different tribes of the same species or similar species. And if they kill one another, then they will actually cannibalize their same species. But that's infrequent, and when it's been shown to have an abundance of food, their strong preference is fruit and otherwise leafy greens. So in essence, on a raw food diet, what is the most scientifically as well as nature proven is a fruit-based and green raw food diet. And in a cooked food perspective, and with lots of good evidence as well, that's still a carbohydrate-rich, lower-fat diet that includes things like sweet potatoes, potatoes and vegetables and beans and all those things. So in short, the most supported by nature and by robust long-term research, health outcomes, and disease prevention and reversal is a high carbohydrate, low fat diet. This is again and again shown not only through health and longevity, but also through athleticism and again by nature. So I hope that simplifies it a little bit for you. And that's what we're all promoting as a part of the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, a low-fat raw food approach that is fruit-based but includes loads of greens and veggies and smaller amounts of nuts and seeds and seaweeds and all those good things. So it's one of the most delicious, juiciest, sweetest diets out there, and it also just provides the best chances of feeling your best, recovering your best. That's one of the big reasons why I got into this lifestyle in the beginning in 2004, starting in 1999, was progressively adding more and more fruit to my diet and cutting out the stuff that wasn't serving me so that I could recover better, so I could skateboard more and all that good stuff. So welcome, Tess. We're having a live AMA. You can ask me anything about raw food, holistic health, nutrition, what I'm doing out here in Sweden, anything you like. Welcome. I hope that helped, Fanny. You can let me know. And if anyone else has any other questions, absolutely feel free. I'm here to support you and answer anything I can to make this lifestyle a lot easier and tastier and more fun. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to turn it back to the glasses view. I'm wearing the glasses. This. Boop, boom. And there we go. Got the skateboard ramps over here. Yeah. There we go. Well, I hate to say it, but I think that's going to be it for today here. I've really enjoyed this live AMA. I have one more. I believe it's on either Saturday. No, it's actually Sunday, the last day of the bundle. But I have 3 lives tomorrow, and I got a whole bunch of lives coming up. Such a pleasure, absolutely. So stay tuned. You can find out more about my lives that are coming up and more about the bundle in my stories and on my page at TheRawAdvantage on Instagram. And you can also find a link to the bundle through my link in bio. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live AMA. If you're watching the replay, that you enjoyed it as well as me faltering when I didn't have any comments. and that again, you check out the bundle. So I'll switch back. So, as always, wishing you much peace, love, and seasonal fruit. See ya.